What the heck is going on in Nebraska? After an offseason that has been dominated by news of Coach Prime rebuilding the Colorado Buffaloes offensive and defensive line, it might be Matt Rhule at Nebraska who shocks the college football world the most. Check this out. Breaking news. Nebraska might flip the #1 quarterback in the country. From Georgia. Yesterday, Steve Wiltfong, who is the director of football recruiting for 24/7 Sports, just put a prediction that Dylan Raiola is going to flip from Georgia and become a Nebraska Cornhusker. You didn't hear me wrong. Flip from Georgia to go to Nebraska. Here's what Steve Wiltfong had to say about Dylan Raiola's recruitment. Nebraska is looking to close this 2024 cycle strong, and word is they may be close to landing their top overall target of the entire cycle. After talking to a source with knowledge of the recruitment, I've flipped my 24/7 Sports crystal ball forecast to Nebraska for 24/7 Sports #2 overall recruit in Buford High School, 5-star Dylan Raiola. Raiola has been committed to Georgia since May. We'll see if the Bulldogs can hold on late. The Huskers appear to be picking up steam in this one. The 6'4", 220-pound Raiola has been in Lincoln this fall, his father Dominic's alma mater. The elder Raiola won the Remington Award, awarded to the best center in college football during his time with the Huskers before a long career in the NFL. Raiola's uncle, Donovan, is the offensive line coach on Matt Rhule's staff. Now, this would be a absolutely game-changing Coach Prime bringing in Travis Hunter and Cormani McClain level of recruiting if Matt Rhule is able to flip Dylan Raiola to Nebraska. I mean, Nebraska's coming off of a season where if they had better quarterback play, potentially could have been in a position to been just more competitive in games overall. And even though Matt Rhule didn't hit the ground running with Nebraska, I've heard nothing but good things about people trusting that Matt Rhule is going to turn Nebraska around. And the fact that Dylan Raiola has this many family ties in Nebraska's culture, it does lend a hand that Nebraska might actually have a chance of flipping Dylan Raiola. I mean, don't get me wrong, flipping him from Georgia is going to be a near impossible task. But, I mean, Dylan Raiola himself has said some pretty good things about Nebraska. Being able to sit down with Coach Rhule and really understand his vision for that program and where he's headed with that program, and he's proven it at Temple and Baylor, and he's going to win at Nebraska as well. Now, this isn't the first time that Dylan Raiola has been linked to Nebraska. Pretty much during his entire recruiting process, there have only been 3 schools that have really been in true contention to get Dylan Raiola's signature. And that, of course, has been Georgia, the school that he's currently committed to, USC with quarterback whisperer Lincoln Riley, and then Nebraska just kept on poking its head around there, just being like, we still might actually land him. Now, as you guys can see from the highlight tape that's playing right in front of you, Dylan Raiola is, at least playstyle wise, the closest thing to a high school version of Patrick Mahomes that we have seen come out of high school. I mean, Quinn Ewers was close to it, but I equated Quinn Ewers to more of a Aaron Rodgers type of quarterback. Dylan Raiola plays exactly and is built exactly like Patrick Mahomes. Super strong arm, big physical frame, kind of mobile, but not super mobile, but overall, he can stretch the ball if he needs to, but a absolute cannon for an arm. Overall, if you ask me, I personally hold absolutely no weight to Nebraska being able to land Dylan Raiola. I really just think that this is just a way to, you know, get other teams to get their pressure off of Dylan Raiola, because if they just think, maybe if we could just pull him away from Georgia, but if they think that we have to pull him away from Georgia and then he has family ties to Nebraska, there might be some teams that like pull off their recruiting of Dylan Raiola and just be like, you know, it's gonna be one of those 2 teams. I don't think that he's decommitted from Georgia. I think that Georgia, they have their quarterback set up ready where Carson Beck, he's going to play 1 more season. Dylan Raiola is going to sit behind him. He's going to learn for a year, and then it's going to be, boom, sophomore year, Dylan Raiola, that's his team. I think that's very clearly the setup that Georgia's going for. Nebraska doesn't have enough NIL money to get Dylan Raiola over there. Let's keep it a buck. I don't care. Dylan Raiola's mom could be the head coach of the team. He's not going over there. Like he's just simply not going to Nebraska. I mean, I know we've seen some like kind of crazy things like Williams and Wari going to Missouri, but Missouri had a good season this year. You know, we've seen Travis Hunter go to Jackson State. They had Deion Sanders there. Matt Rhule does not have that does not have that cachet to be able to pull a player of Dylan Raiola's magnitude. If he does, this little segment will be a great clip in a future video where I talk about Dylan Raiola going to Nebraska. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to be a Georgia Bulldog through and through. And I think that this is just Steve Wiltfong trying to get some clicks overall. This makes absolutely no sense. I know that you can hear some things on the ground. Unless something happens, I'm not budging. Pretty much, this is just good little something to listen to if you know you're a little dry on the college football news. But overall, the fact that the director of football recruiting for 24/7 Sports would put out an official prediction that Dylan Raiola would go to Nebraska while he's still committed to Georgia, being just a week away from early National Signing Day, maybe there's something to be said there. Who knows? Comment down below your guys' thoughts on this absolutely crazy recruiting news. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications so you can stay up to date with everything that is going on in Georgia and Nebraska football news, as well as just college football news all overall. I love and appreciate all y'all and hope that you have a super blessed rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.